To the United Kingdom, where a survey published this week reports multiple cases of school librarians being asked to remove books dealing with LGBTQ themes and characters. The data comes from the non-profit Index on Censorship, and France 24's Catherine Khédir-Clifford has been looking into this. She's with me now. Kathy, tell us first of all about these survey's findings.
So the Index on Censorship found that 28 of 53 UK school librarians who responded to the study, that's 53%, reported being asked to remove books. Now, over half of these removal requests came from parents, often from isolated requests from parents, and more than half of the cases resulted in the books being ultimately removed from the school library's shelves. Many of the incidents involved books with LGBTQ plus themes and characters, and also some seem to have content that was too sexual or too violent. The vast majority of librarians who took part in the study asked to do so anonymously, and some described feeling threatened, intimidated, or even fearing losing their jobs if they didn't comply with these book bans.
Okay, so the librarians are speaking anonymously, but do we know what kinds of titles are causing offence here?
Yes, so some of the books cited most commonly affected included This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson, Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love, and this one aimed perhaps at younger children, ABC Pride. Now, we've seen some reaction to these findings in the press. The School Library Association in the UK emphasised the importance of resources like these, which are specifically aimed at children and young people, being readily available in school libraries, as opposed to perhaps young people then being left to look for unfiltered information online. Meanwhile, LGBTQ plus rights groups have flagged really the importance of representation and inclusion in young adult literature to avoid feelings of shame and isolation around sexuality at a young age.
Right, Kathy, and viewers may be aware of this phenomenon in the United States. It's something that we've heard a little bit about before. How different is what we see in the US and in the UK?
Yes, so censorship in US schools and libraries reached record highs last year, with the American Library Association documenting some 4,240 book titles targeted. So this is a phenomenon documented on a much larger scale. It's important to note that the UK survey comes from a small overall sample. There's no equivalent documentation system in the UK for now to the one in the US. So though the survey was widely distributed, only 53 school librarians chose to take part. The UK investigation also pointed to more coordinated organisation in the US between right-wing Christian groups and politicians, whereas in the UK, while some may have been inspired by discourse by US groups online, and some librarians described a Christian ethos in their schools, behind their schools' attitude to these topics, the majority of complaints did come from parents acting alone. Also, the book bans in the US targeted not just LGBTQ plus themes, but also very commonly books dealing with race and racism.
All right, well, thanks for bringing all of that to our attention. Catherine Khédir-Clifford for us there.